We're starting the new Sefer Devarim, and as we know, Rashi points out right away, and all the Mefarshim, that the first few psukim, in fact the entire Sefer Devarim is one long Musar Shmuz, one long speech of rebuke. You did this wrong, you did that wrong. In the first few psukim, Rashi says each one is a remez to a different episode. The episode of the Egel Azov, the golden calf, the episode of the Meraglim, the episode of the complainers, and now Moshe Rabbeinu all of a sudden is bringing up all the past misdeeds of Klal Yisrael throughout the Midbar. In Parshas Kisova, we're going to have a very scary account of what's going to happen when we come to Eretz Yisrael if we don't keep the Torah, all the teichacha, all the terrible misfortunes which are waiting for us if we don't keep the Torah, which actually happen with the Churbanos of the Bayis Rishon and the Bayis Sheni. But now Moshe Rabbeinu is starting to recount. It says the Or HaChaim HaKadosh. The Or HaChaim HaKadosh says that the word Eila Dvar Masher Diber, like the Chazal say, Diber means a harsh approach, harsh words Moshe Rabbeinu used. Says the Or HaChaim HaKadosh, it says Eila Dvarim. These are the words. Eila, says the Gemara in many places, comes to exclude that which is previous. Eila Dvarim, only these words. Only these words are what? Only these words were harsh. Says the Or HaChaim, when Moshe Rabbeinu met Klal Yisrael many times throughout the 40 years in the Midbar, Moshe Rabbeinu meets the entire Klal Yisrael and tells them words. He never once used the words of Dibur. He always used Amira. We know that Dibur means harsh. Amira is softer form of speech. Adibur is a harsh form of speech. Only now, at the end of 40 years, does Moshe Rabbeinu allow himself to use the harsh words of Musar, which are hinted in the word Diber Moshe, the harsh words that Moshe used. Or HaChaim says, maybe you'll ask me, it says Shimun HaMoirim in the Parshas Chukas, by the story of the Mei Meriva. It says there that Moshe did use harsh words. He said, listen to me, you rabble-rousers, you Moirim, you people who rebelled, you rebellious people. But that was to a specific group of people, but never to the entire Klal Yisrael. When Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to the entire Klal Yisrael, he always spoke with Amir, always soft and controlled speech. Now, Moshe Rabbeinu uses Dibur. Now, Moshe Rabbeinu uses harsh words. It says the Or HaChaim HaKadosh, said the words of Musar that Moshe Rabbeinu used were not merely to, I'm right and you're wrong, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. So often as parents or as teachers or as authority figures, we use words of Musar improperly. What's the point of using Musar? What's the point of telling off our children, telling off the people? Because we want them to be better. Moshe Rabbeinu understood that the proper time to use the harsh words of Musar before they go into Eretz Yisrael. Now, these 5 weeks, this window is the window of opportunity for me to use the words of Musar in a harsh way, so that the effect remains. That Klal Yisrael understands, I'm not telling them for myself anymore. It's not because I'm embarrassed, I'm insulted, I'm angry. It's over. I'm five weeks from death. I know that I'm not going to Eretz Yisrael. I'm doing it only for you. I'm telling you the entire parsha of Kisaveh to tell you, I'm warning you. Keep the Torah properly. Don't repeat the mistakes that you did in the Midbar. Don't serve the Avodah Zarah. Don't perform the Averos in Eretz Yisrael that are going to cause Hashem to get angry and exile you from Eretz Yisrael. I'm telling it to you for your own good. When Moshe Rabbeinu found, now is the time that he can use the harsh words of Musar, the Diber. But before that, it was not the right time. It was not the time that Klal Yisrael would be able to accept it in a way that would educate them and would cause them to be able to better their ways. It wouldn't happen. It would be accepted as, oh, Moshe Rabbeinu is angry at us, he's insulted, he's embarrassed, he's the representative of Hashem, and he's embarrassed in front of Hashem. Then Moshe Rabbeinu understood that would not be properly understood. Only 40 years later. Sometimes we find ourselves getting upset at our children, upset at people that as authority figures, we find ourselves getting upset. And the question we have to ask ourselves before we give Musar, before we give rebuke, are we doing it to educate them? Are we doing it so that the person would become a better person? Or are we doing it because we're insulted, because we're angry, because we're embarrassed? If the answer is the second, then we have to wait. Maybe we can't wait 40 years. Maybe we're not at the level of Moshe Rabbeinu to wait 40 years. But maybe we can wait 40 seconds. Maybe we can wait 40 minutes. Maybe we can wait 40 hours. Before we explode and give our words of Musar, we have to give Musar. We have to show them that they're wrong. No, says Moshe Rabbeinu, we don't have to show them that they're wrong. We have to be able to educate them. We're doing it because of chinuch. If we're doing it because of chinuch, then very often the entire tone and the words that we use and the way we use our words are completely different if we're doing it because of chinuch or we're doing it to show them that they're wrong. This has been a short message for Parshas Devarim.